Hello everyone, I am Manas. Welcome to UPSC Live with Manas, straight coming from the Noida studio of the Indian Express. Now, आज का दिन, just before I was coming to the live, UPSC ने आंसर की निकाल दी है of which 2024 examination and तीन क्वेश्चन रिमूव कर दिए हैं. So 3 questions are removed. One is from the domain of environment, the other from history, and the third is related to economy. So questions have been removed. This is one news. Answer key is out of 2024. Now this timing is very crucial because you are going to enter the prelims stage of 2025 on 25th May. यहाँ तो आप वेंसडे को आप लाइव कर रहे हैं, संडे को आप जो है एग्जाम देने जा रहे हैं. यू आर गोइंग टू गिव 2025 का प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशन ऑन 25th May. Now a lot of students keep writing to us, beyond news, if they have to ask something beyond examination strategy at times. Now these set of questions which I'm going to take today are very important because our subscribers who are aspirants have raised some common concerns while they go and face the examination, the prelims examination. इसलिए अगर आपके कोई ऐसे प्रश्न है या क्वेश्चन है जो कि आप मुझसे पूछना चाहते हैं, if you're going to give the examination on May 25, या if there are going to be other questions also in your mind generally, do write to me, do comment in the box, or you can also later on the YouTube channel of the Indian Express, you can ask me. Now these questions which I'm going to take up today, which have come from the subscribers, are a mix of anxiety, self-doubt, strategy, last minute self-evaluation based, and all these are very natural. These are very natural before this high stake examination of UPSC prelims. Now this can serve as a prelims day study or strategy guide, and I'm going to take these questions one by one. Meanwhile, if you have any question, you can ask to me in the live that we are doing. So the first question which I would really like to take today is, what if there's a surprise element in the paper this year? And what were the surprise elements in the recent past? Now see, surprise elements, UPSC is known for unpredictability. ठीक है, उसका full form तो है Union Public Service Commission, but sometimes people say that U is for unpredictability. So that's true because sometimes in the questions the pattern changes. For example, ज़्यादातर हम लोग क्या देखते हैं, match the column होता है, A और B columns होते हैं, उसको match करना होता है. But UPSC in the previous years have also introduced 3 columns and have asked you to match the 3 columns. So the level of the type of a question can go to that extent where it is different from what we see in general papers. So surprise element can be in the form of the questions they ask. Surprise element can also be कि हो सकता है कि current affairs based हो जाए या बहुत static based हो जाए. But ये जो प्रश्न है ये तभी उठता है when you have doubts about your preparation. Now just have some faith and confidence in the preparation which you have done in the whole year कि कोई भी क्वेश्चन आए उसको थोड़ा समझ के उसका स्टैटिक और करंट अफेयर्स को लिंक करके एंड यू आर एबल टू आंसर दैट. तो जैसे मैं कह रहा था कि सरप्राइज एलिमेंट्स आते हैं, होते हैं इन द काइंड ऑफ नेचर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस और टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस व्हिच आर फ्रेम्ड. तो वो सरप्राइज एलिमेंट होता है. समटाइम्स देयर इज नो सरप्राइज एलिमेंट. ओके, इट इज ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द ट्रेंड व्हिच इज गोइंग ऑन. Now, this question, as I said, should not come to your mind. You should focus on your preparation, on the preparation which you have done in the year. Just focus on that and don't lose the track. Now the next question is very, very important. Should I guess answer or skip doubtful ones? Should I trust my instinct or second guess answer I feel unsure about? Is it better to leave questions I am only 50% sure about? How do I balance risk versus accuracy while guessing? Now see, this question is again important. क्योंकि कई बार ऐसा होता है कि हम skip कर देते हैं क्वेश्चन. कई बार होता है कि नहीं, skip नहीं करते, हम ABCD में से एक ऑप्शन चुन लेते हैं. Now look, this examination is different because there's a negative marking. Okay, so अगर आपने एक क्वेश्चन गलत किया तो आपका 1/3 marks, you lose on that part. So therefore, the negative marking can be one of the hurdles for you to crack prelims examination. Now, there can be situation where you think that you can take certain risk, but it is only when you sure that you are, doing fairly well in your question paper, in your questions. So about your instinct, about your guesswork, I would say that do not forget that there is a negative marking in the question paper. Okay, if you are taking a risk, it should be a calculated risk. All right. Now, what if the GS paper is tough this year? Now, before this, I would like to just come back to the skip wala part. Please remember that though there are A, B, C, D, 4 options in the UPSC prelims, but there's also sometimes a fifth option, that is to skip. Okay, तो कभी कभी skip करना भी important हो जाता है. So that is something which you should remember. Now, what if the GS paper is too tough this year? This is another question from our subscriber. How should I assess the paper, or should I in fact assess the paper or not in the examination hall while attending the paper? Now, whether the paper is tough or easy, उससे matter नहीं करता. Matter करता है वो cut off. Okay, matter करता है वो competition जो आप face करने जा रहे हैं. So, and this is something which is very wrong attitude कि आप paper देते समय सोचें कि paper easy है या tough. Because what you are saying is basically you are assessing the quality of the paper and not focusing on answering the question in a correct manner. So during the time of the paper, there should be no thought in your mind. You should just focus on the question which you are attempting at that particular time. So how should I assess the paper, or should I? Well, my answer is do not assess anything in those 2 hours. Just focus on the question and see whether you want to answer, you'll be able to answer or not. Okay. Now, what if CSAT turns out unexpectedly difficult? Now, see, CSAT वाला जो प्रश्न है वो बहुत पूछा जाता है, because CSAT as a paper was introduced and it was made qualifying in nature. By qualifying, we mean that you have to get a certain amount of number, that is 66.66 or 67 marks, and then that's all. यानी वो number आपके final list में जुड़ेगा नहीं. But in the recent times, it has turned out to be that CSAT has become a very big challenge. So the quality of questions have become difficult. They're not very normal questions, whether it is comprehensions or mathematics or your reasoning. My advice to you is that, these जो 2-3 दिन बचे हैं उसमें आप CSAT पे बहुत जोर दीजिए, because sometimes you clear, you do well in GS paper 1, but you're not able to qualify the CSAT paper, and that is very disheartening. Okay, तो इसलिए my suggestion to you is that CSAT पे आप focus करिए. What it turns out to be unexpectedly difficult, see, my suggestion here is that you have to just focus on qualifying CSAT. You don't need to, top in that paper, or don't need to do wonders in that paper, because अगर आप 100 में से 200 में से 200 भी ले आए, 100 में से 100 भी ले आए उस पेपर में, तो भी जो है वो नंबर तो काउंट नहीं होने वाला है. So you have to just qualify that paper. So no matter how tough it is, you should know your strength areas and you should focus on that. Let's come to the next question. How much time should I ideally spend on each question? How should I ensure that I don't spend too much time on tricky questions? What should be my time cutoff to start bubbling the OMR sheet? Now let me start from backward. Now this particular question has 3 parts. How much time you should give to bubble off? Now there are 2 kinds of candidates जो साथ-साथ में bubble भरते रहते हैं. There's another group of candidates जो कि last moment के लिए छोड़ते हैं. Remember, bubbling takes time. So at least, you should give your 20-25 minutes to that, because there are 100 questions in GS paper 1 to bubble. Remember another important thing, कि no matter आपका पेपर अच्छा है, बहुत easy है आपके लिए, आपको आंसर्स आ रहे हैं, अगर बबल भरने में अगर गलती हो गई, तो then there is no solution. Alright, there is no solution at all. वो क्वेश्चन गलत हो गया आपके लिए, आपको आंसर आ रहा है, but it is wrong. So remember that you have to bubble the sheet, you have to give time to it. So my advice is that at least give 20-25 minutes in the end of the paper to just bubble it. All right, now how much time you should spend on each question? Again, that is an important question. See, some questions will take less time. The pure objective ones will take very less time. Some question will take a lot of time because it is suppose a passage question or statement questions, difficult to understand. Please remember this, do not get involved in a question so much that you get so much emotional that you give so much time to it. Because if you're giving extra time, say for example you're giving 5 to 6 minutes or 7 minutes to one question, you are actually creating a problem for yourself in the next set of questions. So remember that ideally just make sure that you're giving 2 or 3 minutes to a question. If you go beyond that, okay, that means the question is little difficult, you can just skip that question, move on to the other one, and you can come back to the question once the question paper is done for the first round. All right, so do not get trapped in the difficulty of the question or complexity of the question. Let's come to the next question. Should I attempt all questions in one go or take 2 rounds? Is it better to do easier questions first or just do sequentially? You don't know where is the easier question in the whole paper. Okay, so obviously first time you will have to go sequentially. You have to start with question 1 and you have to end at question 100. But as I said, that try to solve as many questions as is possible in the first round and come back to the paper again in the second round to see the questions which you have missed. Okay, so this is another very important question. The thing is time management. Put this thing in your head that, keep this thing in your head that you will have to give time again to the question paper, at least half the time you have taken in the first round or less than that. So, आप 2 round में कर सकते हैं, but it's difficult to say that कौन सा question easy, कौन सा question difficult, because you do not know what is the the pattern of the question which the question paper is following. All right, so remember that. तो ये एक बहुत important चीज थी. What is the safe number of question to attempt to clear the cutoff? Now this is actually a very valid question. A lot of people ask us कि cutoff क्लियर करने के लिए कितने क्वेश्चंस करने होंगे, लेकिन इसमें आपको एक कुछ चीजें ध्यान देनी है. दैट जो कट ऑफ होता है वो आपको पता नहीं होता है while you are giving the paper. Cut off you will only get to know once you have already given the paper. Okay, once the exam is over, the results are out, then you get. UPSC में तो पूरा साइकिल हो जाता है तब आपको कट ऑफ पता चलता है. बट एक जनरल सेंस होता है कि if suppose there are 100 questions in which you think that 60-65 is a question, around questions which सब लोग कर लेंगे, थोड़ा सा अपना बेंचमार्क बढ़ाइए, टेक इट टू 75 और 80. बट अगेन इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द क्वेश्चन पेपर इटसेल्फ, इट डिपेंड्स ऑन योर प्रिपरेशन. कभी कभी आप लोग ओवर इमोशनल होके और ओवर एक्साइटमेंट में ओवर अटेम्प्ट कर लेते हैं. वो ओवर वर्ड अवॉइड करना है. बहुत ही सेंसिबली यू हैव टू आंसर योर क्वेश्चन. सो दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन, what is the safe number of questions? Well, it depends on the paper that year, but I would say that at least आप 65-75 क्वेश्चन तो मिनिमम आपको करना है, उसमें से मैक्सिमम सही होना चाहिए. बट लुकिंग एट द कट ऑफ कैन गो हाई डिपेंडिंग ऑन द क्वालिटी ऑफ द पेपर. सो +-10 ऐसे चलता है. बट इस इमोशन में मत रहिएगा कि आपको 100 में से 100 करना है, बिकॉज समटाइम्स यू ओवर अटेम्प्ट एंड दैट इज इंजूरियस फॉर योर health. And by health I means the marks. Now the next question which I want to take here is what to do and not to do after GS paper 1. सबसे पहली चीज, don't discuss कि क्वेश्चन पेपर में क्या सही था क्या गलत था, because there is another paper which you have to go give post lunch, which is the CSAT paper, जहाँ पे आपका बहुत ज़्यादा दिमाग का यूज़ होने वाला है, because it involves maths, reasoning and comprehension skills. So I would suggest that GS paper 1 जब हो जाए, यानी सुबह की पाली का जब पेपर हो जाए, तो उसको बैग में रख लिया जाए. Just relax, have some lunch, just take some rest, because there is a second paper. What you do not have to do is definitely don't start Googling the answers to question paper 1, okay? Or do not just calling your friends and asking them. For that analysis, you will have ample of time. Okay, so that is something which you should not do. What you should do is just take some rest, eat something, क्योंकि CSAT के पेपर में ये एक्सपीरियंस बोल रहा है that अगर पेट खाली रहता है तो दिमाग नहीं चलता है. इसलिए तो eat something but do not overeat. तो as I said, overword avoid करना है. Overeating, over excitement, or over attempting questions, ये सारी चीजें you have to avoid. Now the last thing which I'm going to take, and I know this is going to be a very quick session because all of you are going to give your prelims examination on 25th. So I've selected a few questions for you. The last section, which has 3 to 4 questions, is on common mistakes. Okay, now this is very important. What are the common mistakes which you should avoid? What are the most common silly mistakes aspirants make in prelims? सबसे important चीज जो आपको याद रखनी है कि whether you know the question or you do not know the question. अगर आपने आंसर बबल गलत भर दिया, ए की जगह डी मार्क कर दिया, बी की जगह सी मार्क कर दिया, आप वहां पे गलत हो गए. And not only wrong, you are going to lose marks because this is a negatively marked question paper. Okay, so silly mistakes में सबसे important होता है bubble. Then not reading the question properly. कई बार ऐसा होता है कि पूछते हैं कोई क्वेश्चन और उसमें बोलते हैं कि which of these following statements are correct. Sometimes they are which of the following statements are not correct. Now जल्दबाजी में हम वो not word भूल जाते हैं और हमें लगता है हमें तो क्वेश्चन सही किया है. So this is one of the silly mistakes which you should avoid. Read the question paper properly. Time manage करिए. Remember, last के लिए आपको 20-25 minutes छोड़ देना चाहिए for filling the bubbles. Do not, hurry up in things. Just read it properly because easy questions. This is one mantra which I'm giving to you. जो सबका सही हो रहा है वो आपका सही होना चाहिए. जो सबका गलत हो रहा है वो अगर आपका गलत हो गया, that's not a problem. But अगर वो आपका सही हो गया, then there is a brownie point there. But जो सबका सही हो रहा है वो आपका सही होना बहुत जरूरी है. और वो आपका सही तब नहीं होगा when you do certain silly mistakes like for not reading the question properly. How do I avoid misreading questions or options under pressure? जैसे कि मैंने आपसे बोला, जल्दबाजी में कई बार गलत हो जाता है. कई बार what happens is that you have to answer question, say question number 10, but आपने question number 11 का glimpse देख लिया और आपको लगा कि अरे ये तो question मेरी एरिया से आया है. And then you stop focusing on question number 10. और क्वेश्चन नंबर 11 पे जाने की वजह से क्वेश्चन नंबर 10 भी आप गलत कर देते हैं. तो दिस काइंड ऑफ एन एक्साइटमेंट शुड बी अवॉइडेड. ओके, एंड अगेन आई सेड यू हैव टू रीड द क्वेश्चन प्रॉपर्ली. What should I do if I panic or blank out in the middle of the paper? Please drink some water. Give yourself a time, some time. Okay, there is no need to look here and there and what others are doing. Definitely that is not allowed in the examination hall. Just take a deep breath. In fact, I would suggest that after every 5-10 questions, just keep your pen down, take a deep breath. If you want to have water. Okay, this is your paper, this is your examination. You will qualify or you will not qualify. Nobody else is affected by it. So it's you and your question paper. That's it. बाकी सारी universe कुछ ना कुछ करते रहेंगे आपके favor या आपके against में. You have to focus on your preparation, on your exam. So whenever there's a panic situation, remember that this is just a exam. Okay, this is just a exam. And drink some water, take deep breath, and get back to work. Now, how do I avoid falling into the trap of overthinking? How do I avoid over attempting or under attempting due to anxiety in that situation? Now, this is something which comes over a practice. All right, तो आपने tests किए हैं, mock test किए हैं, you have prepared yourself in a environment which is examination friendly. So ये सारी चीजें आपके आसपास नहीं मंडराएंगी if you have done the preparation accordingly. The most important thing here is that if you focus on the question, then of course there is no point of overthinking. All right, trust that the options are not there to always confuse you. Okay, every option has a reason. All right, so try to find out the reason behind the incorrect options also. All right, and sometimes if the question is from the static part of the syllabus, if you have some idea of its current affairs also, or vice versa, even that helps. Okay, now obviously, as I said, overword has to be avoided. Overthinking, over attempting, sometimes also overeating. So do not overeat before the exam or in the middle of the exam. Just as much as it is required. Remember, this is a general studies paper. All right, so when do you overthink? When you think that a history student would be able to answer history question better. No, but this question is made for everyone. Okay, so it is not going to be very, it would not be like a PhD or research level question. All right. So you do not need to overthink in that direction. Okay. Just have your basics clear and connect it with current affairs. That is something which I would suggest. Now, some general advice is on reaching on time. So please reach the center before time, all right, and do not leave it to the last moment. Uh, Take care if you are appearing for the examination in areas where there's a lot of heat because of the summer. Take care of your hydration. Keep drinking something. Have some water with you. All right, this is very important. So take care of yourself during the summers. And then, as I mentioned throughout the discussion today, bubbling, the filling of the bubbles of the answer sheet, and not, avoiding these common mistakes while reading the questions. All these things are important. Health is foremost. Okay, so सबसे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है आपकी health. If you're healthy, in the healthy body resides the your rich mind. Okay, knowledgeable mind, intelligent mind. So remember that you have to remain healthy, eat healthy, think healthy, take some good sleep and rest before the day before the exam, and trust on your preparation. Okay, so we'll meet after the prelims examination now with something new, with some more new questions. I'm sure a lot of you are not giving the exam this year because you're planning 2026 or 2027. So we are there with you in this journey. And as I always say, think smart, work hard, conquer your goal. Bye-bye.